Alright, let's have a look at the idea of history's hockey stick and the Malthusian traps, which repeated until the Industrial Revolution. So basically, the idea of history's hockey stick is that the wages of workers remained relatively constant up until the Industrial Revolution at about here, although it had begun to pick up around this point. Let's just mark it as the year 1800, where industrialization really takes off, and we can see a massive increase in the GDP per capita, focusing on the United Kingdom, because that was where the Industrial Revolution really started, and we can see it differentiate from Italy, Finland, and Japan, especially. So, before this point, we can see wages remained relatively constant. But why was this? Well, it was due to a thing Thomas Malthus described as the Malthusian Trap, which was essentially the idea that as we go through history, population increases whenever there is technological innovation. So he's not saying that farming practices or technology hadn't become more efficient in the years between the year 1000 and 1800. He's saying every time a new piece of technology came out, so every time you've got, like, I don't know, a spinning jenny, or, well, no, that would be more towards that, but any technology produced during this period, every time it was produced, it would increase GDP per capita slightly. And for the people who have more money from this, so you can think of a farmer, when he gets a new technology, say a new type of hoe, which increases the efficiency of his farming 10%, well, that extra 10% in his GDP per capita doesn't last long, because although he can now produce 10% more goods, he's going to spend the extra money from that 10% on having more children. A large child. He's going to have more children, which is going to spend that extra money, so he's still going to be living at subsistence level. And then when the next generation comes around, there will be higher demand put on the farming. So although there is now more crops being produced on a piece of land than before, thanks to this new innovation, because population has increased, people need more food, which means since demand for food has increased, because there's higher population, the price of food is also going to increase. So let's just draw a carrot. Price of food is also going to increase, which means that people are going to be back to subsistence living and subsistence wages, as even since the farmer's salary is going to increase, since there are now more farmers, you can probably think of it like when he has children, that land's going to be divided up, and you've got problems of diminishing returns in the forms of labour. But basically, simply, Thomas Malthus believed that technological innovation would lead to a temporary increase in GDP per capita, which would be followed by population growth, which would lead to another to a decrease in GDP per capita as prices increase and competition in the labour market increases, pushing down wages. Which is why, if we look at areas in the history's hockey stick before the Industrial Revolution, we would be able to observe that they look something like this, representing the whatever it was before. Then we see boost in GDP per capita caused by technological innovation, and then this would be followed by population growth, which would increase competition in the labour market, driving down GDP per capita, and it would increase prices. So although we've had an increase in the wages there, increase in GDP per capita, the other part pushed it back down to the former subsistence wage. Now, this happened all the way up until the Industrial Revolution, because following the Industrial Revolution, the rate of technological innovation began to outstrip population growth. So we were innovating and increasing the efficiency of our production practices at a rate faster than our population was growing, which allowed GDP per capita to rise substantially and population to rise with it, which is what we describe as the escape from the Malthusian Trap. Now, this will relate to David Ricardo in another lesson about his theory on rent and essentially why we return to these subsistence wages to begin with. So it's important to understand Thomas Malthus's theories and the idea of history's hockey stick before we get on to David Ricardo's theory on rent and his defense of the labour theory of value, which is obviously an idea popular among classical economists and wouldn't be really disputed much until we get to the marginal revolution with people like Hayek or Frieden or Milton. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Malthus and history's hockey stick.